Let's talk about three numbers: 194, 70, and 1. Steve Bannon's criminal contempt of Congress by the numbers, the justice numbers. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So let's look at Steve Bannon's criminal contempt of Congress by the numbers, all right, the justice numbers. So for those of you scoring at home, the three numbers that we're going to talk about: 194, 70, and 1. And Steve Bannon's prosecution presents a couple of really big opportunities to hold Donald Trump accountable. We'll talk about that toward the end of this video. But first of all, the first number, 194. Why is that important? That's the federal law section, specifically 2 United States Code section 194, that governs what will happen after Congress votes to hold Bannon in contempt and refers him to the Department of Justice for prosecution. Section 194 says the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia shall present the matter to the grand jury for its action. Not might, not may, shall. So the case will be presented to the grand jury. Now, I'm not a betting man. My betting limit is $1. I would bet $1 the grand jury will indict Steve Bannon for contempt of Congress. What happens then? Well, the case goes from the grand jury and it moves into federal court. That's where the second number comes in, 70. The Speedy Trial Act says that when we indict somebody federally, the prosecutors have 70 days to take that person to trial, from the time of indictment to the time of trial. 70 days. Now, criminal law practitioners will say federal trials never go in 70 days. That's true, but that's what the Speedy Trial Act says and requires. Now, the parties, the prosecutor, the defense, often agree to delay it well beyond 70 days. But here's the thing. If the prosecutors and the courts are determined to do this promptly, expeditiously, they can go to trial in just 70 days. Unlike civil litigation, where Don McGahn, for example, weaponized the delay in the system, ran out the clock, and he was never compelled by a court to testify. He ran out the clock for more than 2 years. Donald Trump weaponizes the delay in the system. Remember how New York wanted his tax returns and Congress wanted his tax returns, and he kept going up and down the appellate chain to the Supreme Court and back for years, trying to hide his tax returns from New York, from Congress, from the American people. Donald Trump weaponizes the delay in the system. Well, if the prosecutors and the courts are determined not to let that happen in Steve Bannon's criminal case, and civil cases, much easier to weaponize the delay, defendants don't really have that same opportunity in a criminal case. So he can and should be taken to trial expeditiously. And then the final number I want to talk about is 1. Because if Steve Bannon is convicted, and he should be, of criminal contempt of Congress, the law provides that he shall be sentenced to no less than 1 month in jail and no more than 1 year in jail. That's where the number 1 comes in. Now, if he is indicted, and he should be, and I predict he will be, that could also have the fringe benefit of him negotiating a plea that involves him promptly appearing before Congress and giving testimony. So all hope is not lost with respect to getting Steve Bannon's testimony, getting his butt in the witness chair before the House Select Committee so he can incriminate Donald Trump. Brings me to the final point, the one I said let's put a pin in, an opportunity to get after Donald Trump. And stay with me for 2 more minutes, friends, because as a career prosecutor, I view this as essential to the upcoming grand jury investigation into Steve Bannon's criminal contempt. When we're investigating a case in the grand jury, We investigate the crime. We investigate the criminal. We also investigate the motive for the crime. Why did Steve Bannon refuse to appear and suffer a contempt charge? Here's one of the reasons why. And this is important to Steve Bannon's criminal prosecution. The motive. We always investigate motive. Think about it. What might motivate Steve Bannon to refuse to testify before the House Select Committee and incriminate Donald Trump? Donald Trump pardoned him, right? Steve Bannon created a bogus We Build the Wall Foundation, stole from Donald Trump's supporters, used that bogus foundation as a vehicle to steal from Donald Trump's supporters, and Donald Trump pardoned him. We don't know if Trump and Bannon split the money that Bannon stole. Haven't seen any reporting on that. Donald Trump's pardon of Steve Bannon is relevant to the motive for Steve Bannon to refuse to testify to Congress. So that matter, I contend, must be fully investigated in the grand jury when they are seeking to indict Steve Bannon for contempt of Congress, for refusing to testify, for refusing to incriminate Donald Trump. This is an opportunity, yet another opportunity, to hold Donald Trump accountable for his crimes because, friends, we don't have all day. Our democracy doesn't have forever. The Department of Justice must begin getting after Donald Trump and his criminal associates for the crimes they committed against our nation, against the people of the United States, because if he's not held accountable, I'll bet another buck, and I hate to bet against democracy, that our democracy will not survive. If you let Donald Trump and his criminal associates get away with all of the crimes they inarguably committed, I fear we're done. So let's get after it, because this is a perfect vehicle, the Bannon criminal contempt case, to present evidence to the grand jury about Bannon's motive, which involves a Trump pardon. Please, DOJ, put those dots together. 1 to 2 to 3. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, thank you for tuning in to these Daily Justice Matters videos. You can also get them in podcast form, audio only. Just go wherever you ordinarily get your podcasts. And of course, if you want to support our all-volunteer efforts here at Justice Matters, we're here 7 days a week. We are up and running, producing and posting these legal analysis videos. Feel free to come on over to patreon.com. You can sign up to become a patron. And if you do, I'll send you some Team Justice stickers and a personal handwritten note of thanks. And I want to again thank everybody who has come over to patreon.com, who has become a member of Team Justice, and who is fighting with us shoulder to shoulder to hold Trump and company accountable. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.